Hello and welcome back to F News. In today's edition, we will tackle the tragic story of the royal family of Denmark.
A few months ago, the beloved King of Denmark, old Hamlet, passed away, and family and friends from around the world gathered to pay their respects to the late king. His son, Prince Hamlet, was summoned from his school in Germany to attend his father's funeral, but he seemed to be less than happy after finding out about the rushed marriage between his mother, Gertrude, and his uncle Claudius, brother of the deceased King of Denmark.
Hamlet allegedly sought for help to cope with this shocking news, and he started therapy with renowned psychoanalyst Ernest Jones. But shortly afterwards, a lot of speculation was made as to whether they had a falling out, since, shortly after that, he began treatment with Julia Kristeva, another distinguished psychoanalyst.
But is therapy really helping the prince solve his problems? Well, today we have answers for you. Last night, a source leaked an audio of a session between Kristeva and a man who has been identified as Hamlet himself. With the help of a group of specialists, our team has managed to explain what Hamlet is feeling according to what he says in the recording. The findings are quite revealing. In the audio, we can hear the prince telling Kristeva about the conclusion that Dr. Jones had reached after analyzing him. Apparently, Jones believed that Hamlet was suffering from a reactivated Oedipus complex, as old Hamlet's death meant that Gertrude was available again. But Gertrude's marriage to Claudius signals an appearance of a new castration figure.
When asked about this idea, Jones answered that Hamlet mentioned having visions of his father asking him to avenge his death by killing Claudius. According to the doctor, this could prove extremely convenient for Hamlet, as the death of another castration figure would mean that Gertrude is available again. Nevertheless, in the recording, the prince does not seem to accept this theory, and we believe that this is the reason why Hamlet decided to change therapists. After that, Hamlet begins what we believe is a free association psychoanalytic session with Dr. Kristeva by saying,
"Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew."
After hearing Hamlet, Kristeva disregards Jones' opinions and shifts the focus from Hamlet's father to his mother. We hear her explain that Hamlet's problem is not a resurfaced Oedipal complex, but melancholia. We asked an expert to expand on this topic. For Julia Kristeva, melancholia is an incomplete or unsuccessful detachment from the mother, a failed attempt to break the dyadic merger that baby and mother experience early in the baby's life. For men and for women, the loss of the mother is a biological and psychic necessity, the first step on the way to autonomy. This is what Kristeva says Hamlet has failed to achieve. Saying that Hamlet is melancholic would mean that, whenever something is lost, in this case his father, the prince experiences a reactivation of the loss of the dyad. The lack of separation of the mother implies, moreover, an inadequate integration into the symbolic order, with immediate consequences on language and an introjection of the figure of the mother. This results in a disrupted syntax, as well as violence against the self, such as suicidal tendencies. We can see an instance of broken syntax in the recording when we hear the prince say, "Like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse or reason, would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle." We can also see evidence of a suicidal tendency when the prince says in the recording, "Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon 'gainst self-laughter."
Clearly, Hamlet's tragic story is still unfolding. We hope that therapy will guide him in the right direction and that he will find peace of mind soon.
We will go on covering the development of the events that take place around the crown in the following special broadcasts of F News. Stay tuned.
I love this show.
Wait, doesn't he die in this episode?
What? Spoiler alert!
Hello and welcome back to F News. Today we will continue talking about the royal family of Denmark, whose sorrow seems to be never-ending. This time, however, the protagonist of the tragic events was not Hamlet himself, but Ophelia, a woman with whom he has been romantically linked in the past.
Sources from the castle revealed that Hamlet and Ophelia's relationship had been downhill ever since the king's death, and we had been told about an appalling incident involving the former lovebirds. It appears that Hamlet engaged in a heated discussion with Ophelia and attacked her for no apparent reason. Our source said, quote, "The prince kept screaming at her, telling her to go to a nunnery."
Our experts claim that this is not a case of rage against Ophelia herself, but a case of displacement, as he might not have been trying to send her to a nunnery, but his mother, Queen Gertrude. However, this was not the end of Ophelia's suffering. We are told that last night she attended a play held at the castle, which had been partly written by Hamlet. After the play, in a very confusing episode, Hamlet was accused of stabbing and killing Polonius, Ophelia's father and king's personal assistant. The most serious accusations came from the queen herself. She is said to have been in the room when the murder happened, and it is rumored that she was the one to point the finger to her own son.
These news were devastating for young Ophelia. In the following days, she had to receive psychiatric attention, but her health didn't seem to evolve favorably, as we saw from a tweet she posted later that day. "And will thou not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He will never come again. His beard was as white as snow, flaxen with his pole. He is gone, and we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul, and of all Christian souls. Hashtag God by you." Official sources informed that Ophelia lost her phone privileges after posting this, and that she later on escaped the facilities.
Sadly, Ophelia's body was found in the river earlier today. We were told that it was the queen herself who broke the terrible news to the young lady's brother Laertes, who had come back from France to mourn the loss of his father. Pained with the loss of all his family members, sources confirmed that the young man requested a duel with Prince Hamlet upon his arrival today. We have Maggie Wilde covering the duel live from outside the castle.
Yes, we're here at the Royal Castle of Denmark, where we heard that the duel has ended in tragedy. Claudius was found to be the murderer of old Hamlet, and we are told that he tried to murder Hamlet himself by poisoning Laertes' sword and poisoning the wine Hamlet was supposed to refresh himself with. But apparently his plans failed, and it was the queen. It was the queen? The queen is dead because it was her who drank the wine poisoned by Claudius. Both Laertes and Hamlet were wounded by the poisoned sword, and Laertes, in his last moments, confessed Claudius' plan. So Hamlet, in rage, decided to run Claudius through with a sword and, and forced him to drink the poisoned wine. After they were all dead, apparently, Fortinbras, the Prince of Norway, Fortinbras, the Prince of Norway, came into the hall, saw everybody dead, and took the throne for himself, obviously unopposed by the dead bodies. And, alright, okay. We would like to take a moment now to welcome a new King of Denmark. Long live the King, Fortinbras.
We would like to take advantage of this opportunity to salute our great King, Fortinbras. Long live the King!